Hello YouTube, this is my opening clip for Sunday in the shop. Hey, this is charged. It's red till it turned green. This is the thing that was missing parts, okay? Now all these bits are not 3mm. That's a 3mm, call it. That's out of the kit that plugs in, the red one. Don't get confused now like me. Okay, this is that 2.9 whatever, if you looked it up. Okay. Now I have made these collets fit in other tools by grinding that down because they don't hold anything. See all that space? They hold by this clamping down on the taper. Okay, got me so far. Excuse me, do not belt on camera this Sunday. You can tell I've been measuring. I've got everything out here but my micrometer. I got it. If I laugh, I'll go off. Okay, this is the kit that came with this, with the red one, okay? The little small corded one. This does seem to have 3-speed. Let's unplug it once. If I can do this one-handed. It seems like it changes speed, but watch and listen real close. That should be low. 2. See, it doesn't make no sense. And you can barely see it. Here, let's turn like this. See, it does seem a little bit higher. It's only advertised to go at, it'll start at 15,000 after running 2 seconds. Tool speed will slow down. Return tool speed will remain at 5,000. I read the instructions over here. Doesn't make no sense. Here, let's come up here. We'll start at 15,000 after running to the tool speed will slow down with the tool speed remain at 5,000. Okay, so does that mean this button doesn't do any damn thing? I said the D word, Sunday in the shop. It's not monetized, I can get away with it. You hear it slow down? Hear it? So it does have higher speed. Now I didn't do that when I first took it out of the box. Didn't have much battery power. Well, I did it on its own. I didn't touch it. Trust me. I'm assuming it'll stay there. Okay, let's quit playing with that. Okay, we're going to grind this down. We can find it here. I have it getting so close because I work. So we're going to grind this down to fit in there. I wrote this down. That's best my ability. Because see, this will measure in 1/2 millimeter, this little ruler. See it? Let's have my measuring tool. I hold up to it. I do have a caliper that measures. I'm not getting it out. It's like a 6.5 millimeter. And I did a little research. The one from Harbor Freight will work. That little cheap $10 rotary tool, I don't know where it is. I don't know if I gave it away or loaned it out. I cannot find it. And the whole kit is in a plastic ammo box. So you know, me walk around my shop on the shelf, I would see a gray plastic ammo box. So, lost or stolen, misplaced. You got 3 choices when something's gone in your shop. It's misplaced, you just done lost it, that's too big to lose, or it was stolen. So, you got 3 choices. Okay, let's go back and let's grind this down so at least it'll fit in here. We're going to find a way to use this tool. Would it be great to use if you need to just go outside and do something real quick? Putting in a car stereo or something? Huh? A car stereo. This is going to be a habit through this whole video. Let's just take a break and we'll be back. Okay, can you see that taper? It's just starting going. Whenever you're going to home machine something with a grinder, just do the very end. See that? Then we got something to go by. If you get this end to just to start to fit right, stop. Don't go any further. Trust me now. Then do the whole thing to that size, okay? That way you're still oversized going in the hole. Then you can sand it by hand or do something else. You could have a big old shaft that's 1 inch, whatever you need to take just a little bit off to go through a bearing or something. Just do the very tip. And when it just starts to fit in there, let's see if we can get over here. See that? When it just starts to fit, stop. See how it's almost too much? You're not going any further. So don't go any further smaller when you grind it than what you're at already. I think you know what I mean. Oh, I did the Charlie Brown Art thing. You know when he throws his hands in the air? It ain't worth it. The $12 junkie tool ain't worth it because you've already probably, you will see the video if you haven't seen it, of all the pieces that came with it. I bought it for all the bits, but I got ripped off because I figured 3mm, I got to call it, no problem. Well, it doesn't matter. I still got this collet, which is 2.9, whatever. Look up in your tools. I'll try to find sometime, though I ain't right now. There is a collet that's below 3mm. Trust me, that's what this is. I think we got all this info inputted correctly, right? Or did I confuse you? I don't want to confuse you. Then you get frustrated. Then you get mad at me. Then you start... No, I know you won't yell at me. You ever yell at somebody not to do something? They're working on a car. I watch a lot of guys build old cars. Don't do that. Don't put that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then 5 minutes later they go, I should have listened, guys. I shouldn't have done that. Or, oh, I shouldn't do that. Well, the video's already been posted, right? So, how do you go back in time with mental telepathy? I think it's just one of them things that happen. Think about it. Have you ever done it? Yell at the guy, don't do that, and he catches it? Yeah. It's like he could hear it from beyond in this ain't the Twilight Zone episode. Just move on. We'll be back. We'll get this to fit. Okay, do not do this at home. I had this held down. What I was doing, I was holding this on either side. Okay. I got my goggles on and I'm letting it spin against the sanding drum. I have it so it will fit in here about... Gotta bear with me now. See that? And you can still tell that it's tapered at an angle. If you look at that, see that? I'm doing that at an angle. Now we're going to start straightening it out a little bit more. So next time you see it, it won't be so fat on the left side. See that? Look at the bottom, you can tell it better. See it? I'm trying to tip it straight. See? I think you can tell. And they'll get paper thin. I've made these before from different collets just to get by. Because I had a whole bunch of 8-inch collets that would not fit in my Dremel tool. Dremel type tool. That's a generic name like Band-Aid now. We'll be back. Isn't this fun? Safety work. Don't run any tool like this on a rag like it's sitting here. I've been moving the rag, and I have goggles on. Imagine wrapping that rag around. No, don't imagine that. Okay, I've got to go in there, right? You gotta just trust me. But I only did up to the line. Because it does no good to mess that up. Do not try to make it smaller where that line is. It'll just break the collet. You know what I mean? I had to really show it. Don't do where them lines are. I think you understand that. If you made that smaller, it's just going to break easy. Oh, if we could find something 6.5mm now to make a collet in that thing. And no, shoving it in there tighter does not tighten on the bit. You'd have to pound it in there with a hammer. Trust me, it's not the same as tightening a collet nut over top of that. Because that goes over that taper. Get my fat finger out of here. I think you might hear my scanner beeping in the background. It goes over this taper, what squeezes this. Okay, let's pause here so the scanner will quit talking. Okay, here's our fix. It's the next day and I'm still warming it up. It could snow tonight. It's like 43 degrees outside. This is the lid off a bottle of eye drops. Well, it had a safety cap on the outside and I pried it off, and this was actually the inside part. So it doesn't matter. It's just, you know how they're shaped where the stuff comes out, the drops. I cut that back. So this pulls over this taper and is squeezing these collet together. You know, the little grooves we showed you earlier. You focus on that. We're only catching about 4 threads in here. It's kind of transparent. Then we also tapered the inside of the other piece. We'll stop and take it apart and show you that, where we tapered it so it would fit in there better. And my battery symbol's flashing. Also, we decided just to show you the whole kit, because I don't buy tools to make money showing them. So Sunday in the shop, we're going to show you everything that came with us. So that'll be a treat for both of us. So I'll be right back. Okay, see how far that goes in? And we can tell it's tapered. We beveled that. See, we don't see the chrome. You see the brass. We machined this with one of the diamond bits while this was running. So this was the part in the lathe. There you go. This took a lot to get this apart. When I just took this apart, I had to press this down on the bench to get this plastic to come off of this part. Because you can see how it stretches over that to close up the slots. Oh, I see a piece of plastic here. We got to get this. See that? We're going to take a razor blade and get that out of there. That's going to prevent that from going closed. So we've had the part worked on, so let's get that out of there. And then we'll put it back together. Can you see it? Sure you can. Let's clean them little slots out. Okay, that's what came out of there. I said I'd worked on it. Can you see that starting to form threads on that plastic? Can you see it? Look right on the very edge in there. Get the camera here. I think you can see it if I look. See? I said, and this is harder plastic than what you think. It took a little bit of force to cut this off with my X-Acto, utility knife, razor blade. So, it's not flimsy plastic. It's pretty tough stuff. Okay, let's get this back together again. Okay, my fingers hurt threading that back on. It takes a lot of force to push that over there. To get that to screw on at the same time, you're trying to, because you don't want to strip out the threads I made in the plastic. The only way this bit came out, I was getting carried away on high and it did it. But this was all done with one charge and it still got juice in it. Doing the back of a quarter just with diamond bits for something to do. This was Vermont with the tree on it. You can almost make out a tree there. Yeah, that's medium speed. A high speed, the bit tried walking out. Let's tap on it and see if the bit's in all the way. I think it's in all the way. I said this is odd. You start it and it starts on high. Kicks on low. You go to medium. Then high. Or off. Okay. Okay, now with this, let's show you the stuff that came with it. Is why I spent the $12. So, said, I knew there was always a chance when people say it's missing parts, it's missing the collet. And I tried finding that wherever I found that and could not find it again. And somebody said the one from Harbor Freight, that piece would fit. Well, oh, I had to cut the rubber off. If you look back at the pictures, I cut all this rubber off back to the plastic. So I better mention that. So, I doubt anybody's gonna ever have to do this to a Dremel type tool, but at least you've seen how I fixed it. And this will come in handy for real small hobby stuff. I doubt it's gonna get used a whole lot though, so it might, because they're, like I said, these bits are only that size that's under 3mm, so I may have to use this on a lot of stuff. We'll see. We'll be right back. Okay, we'll show you how we got this. It's a nice box. Would you give $2 for that box? I would. The hinges aren't too bad. I'd probably give a couple bucks for this box in a store. Okay, you got whatever that's worth, owner's manual. Okay, this is how this came. I got this. Hold on. I just don't want to use a tripod in here right now. These are $12 to $15 for a set this big. And you can count them. I'm not going to. But I know, to get a set like these, I know what they cost. I researched it, okay? We're not going to take that out. Just leave it in there. You can see what's in it. Let's see if we can get this box out. Let me pause. I'm getting frustrated. Okay, if it's aggravating, it ain't worth doing, right? We went ahead and took it out. That is a big stone. You see that big diamond bit in there? Okay, these were not in the package like this. Do not ask me how they had the lid, because these were just thrown in there. They was not in here like this. Now these right here, they want you to put that sandpaper roll over this thing on the left, which is not a rubber roller thing. Just these 5 or whatever big giant diamond bits right here, those are like $5 or $6. Because I've looked this stuff up. But no, they were not organized like this. They were just thrown in there. And here's another thing. Here's one of the tool sets, right? I'm sure you can see what I mean. They're tool sets. Okay. This is my charger. It's just a multi-use charger. You can tell how old it is. Here's what it came with. Okay. Now, don't you think that would have had a wall cube in there at one time? It makes me think this company just threw the stuff together. What's odd is I went back and looked at them again once I got my order done, like the next day. I saved my book. I said, let's go check and see what that looks like again. Because I always bookmark stuff that I'm buying and save it. Unavailable. I must have got the last one. And it didn't say one left. I must have got the last one because it says it's not available. So, I wonder if there's any hidden treasure underneath this. Should we see if that comes out of there? There probably ain't nothing under there. You always wanted that, right? Yeah. It's pretty cheesy, huh? To me it is. It's like it's the last afterthought. Because would they run out of wall cubes? We'll pause on here so you can see this. In case you find it somewhere else. I said for $12. Okay, I think we're done with this. Let's think of something else to close the video out with today instead of just sitting there thinking while the camera's running. We'll be back. Real quick, that did come out. So, still, that's a nice box, right? Let's look at the hinges a little bit better. They're so-so. If they broke, I could repair them. They wrap around. Can you see how they wrap around there? So I think you could take the hinges off. Well, let's go ahead and just see. Okay, you can take it off the hinges. You don't know. You might want to put this down in a drawer, in a toolbox or something, you know, or whatever. Just another little added bonus to this, huh? Oh, I like different carrying cases for stuff. I'm always looking in stores for boxes to put parts in. Okay, I got the heaters roaring. It's getting chilly. Let's flip something before we go. And I have a video on this. You may see these before this video or after. I have a video on those, which I ordered. I don't know if these are supposed to be used with polish on them or not. I cannot remember, but we're going to use it with polish on it. Let's do the before and after. We can't do this if we don't want to get our tripod. Just give you a quick look. Let's work on these a little bit and see what they look like when we're done. We'll be right back. It'll take me about 5-10 minutes, but with you to be right. When I say now, you'll see the finished product. So, when I say now... Okay, strings everywhere. We buffed this till the polish disappeared, then we just kept buffing it. That's why we wanted to start out with this. Because I figured, I want to buff with one of these, right? Well, you got to have polish on it. So, I wanted to do the actual buffing with one of these. And it looks like the yellow ones are probably tougher than the white ones. We want to polish with this big fluffy cotton ball thing. It might be too much, but this did get a little warm. Y'all know this from the last video, so let's buff this off, see if it looks any better at all. You know, they do look nice. They were a little bit scuzzy. Words that people use. I just don't want to abuse this tool. This tool's for small stuff. I have a big giant one if I really want to polish something big. So, we'll be back. Okay, I'm really impressed with these. Now, these have been done before. These have been polished. When these come new, they do not look like this. But I'm really impressed with these. And I went every direction. I mean, I might go this way. I might get up on edge like this. You know, I'm going to get that in there any direction I want. Look how shiny that is back on here. Imagine on stainless trim on a car or chrome piece. A hood ornament or something you're restoring. I'd like to buy a couple antique hood ornaments and restore them just for the fun of it. You'll go to some real old junkyard or somewhere, find them on the internet. They'd want too much. I have it off 53 or 54 Ford. I think I sold it years ago. It looked like an airplane. No, I'm really impressed with that. Of course, you got to give some credit to the polish. That's good stuff. It will put a shine on stuff where my other polishes didn't shine that much. But look at that. Get that ka-ching. Oh, the stuff flew. I'd recommend wearing a mask. That stuff is all over. I mean, it's... You can't see it because it's lighter color, but trust me, between the two, you look what's on my glove. See that? And I wasn't wearing a mask, so if I did it all day, I'd be wearing a mask. I ain't sucking that, and my lungs are up my nose. There you go. We're out here for the week. Thanks for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed everything that I put in this video. And they do not get paid by any companies to show any product, so that way I don't have to type it in there, which I usually do. Look for some pictures.